So I gave up secular music for Lent this year, and this is what happened. So I gave up secular music for Lent this year because I love music. I listen to music every day, all the time, on my way to school, while I'm walking to class, while I'm doing homework, while I'm just chilling. Music all the time, headphones in my ear, basically every moment of every day. And I don't normally listen to like Christian or worship music unless I'm like specifically in like adoration or something like that. I'm always kind of just listening to regular pop music, secular music. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to try to give that up this Lent, and just listen to some Christian music and kind of spend more time with the Lord. I think the goal is always to center the Lord in everything, and I feel like I haven't invited him into that part of my life, which is a huge part, which is, music. So yeah, I thought I'd share some of my favorite songs that I discovered while only listening to Christian music and kind of what I thought of the whole journey. So I think there were like two main categories of songs that I listened to. One was more like the feel-good, upbeat music, and the other one was more like in your feels type of music. So I thought I would share a couple of songs or a few songs in each category. For the feel-good ones, those are ones that I like wasn't really expecting, but they definitely helped me like get more into it, because it kind of matched more of the vibe that I would like listen to on a normal day. Two of the artists I discovered there were Forrest Frank and Holby. I had heard about Forrest Frank before, because I believe he performed at Seek, which is this big Catholic conference that I went to a couple years ago. When I went, Ben Rector performed, which was pretty cool, but Forrest Frank performed this year and I didn't go. So when I was like listening to music, also, shout out to my friend Ashley who like sent me all her playlists. I was listening to some of her playlists and I was just like put it on, shuffled it in the car, and the ones that stood out to me were always Forrest Frank and Holby, because they have more of like they're more in like the hip hop like lo-fi genre, which would kind of match more what I listen to. So I really liked them. The first song is Life is Good by Forrest Frank, which is a very like, again, like a beat vibe. It was stuck in my head constantly, and it's really just about remembering to be grateful for everything that we have and to not let our worries overwhelm us and kind of just leave them up to the Lord, which has been something that I've been working on a lot. I've maybe over the past year been praying a lot with the litany of trust, especially with like my future still kind of being up in the air, not really knowing what comes next. It's been a good reminder to just leave it all with him. There's a line in the song that says, why would I be stressed about some stuff that happens later, which is a very me thing to say. I feel like I have said something very similar before. But yeah, I think that really resonated with me. And he says like every day with you is Saturday, and I think that's a good reminder of like just truly trusting in the Lord and his plan and knowing that it will be okay with him. The next song is a Holby and Forrest Frank collab called Altar. Again, upbeat, but it was just really beautiful. I think the message of the song is just to, again, like lay everything down at his feet. So there's like a section there, it's like 3 different lines that were the ones that stuck out to me, where he says, y'all don't get it, I can't get a thing if I've already won. Still don't get it, I was full when my bank account was none. Cause my God the type to leave the 99 to get the one. And I don't know, I really love that one. I think it was just a good reminder of not placing your value on, on other things. Remembering just how much like the Lord loves each and every one of us, and will give his full self to each and every one of us, and like so we can find happiness and be fulfilled with the Lord. And the last song in this category is again, Holby. It's called Beautiful. Definitely just like a reminder of all the things, finding beauty in everything. I think the line that stuck out to me was, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy. I think, again, like similar to Altar, like such a beautiful reminder of how much the Lord loves us, and how, I think with relationships that we have, like in our everyday life, whether that's family, friends, or like romantic ones, um, they're never going to be like 100% perfect, because we're humans, but the Lord is perfect and will love us perfectly in the way that we need. Um, so yeah, I think just like such a beautiful reminder of his love for us. Second set of songs were more like in your feels type songs. The first one is called I Get Overwhelmed Sometimes by Abby Gamboa and Upper Room. And like the song is just about like a reminder that it's like okay not to be okay all the time. But kind of this yearning for God during those like chaotic times, and when you don't feel well, like just like offering that up. So I think the lyric that stood out to me the most was just me, no more or less is all that you require. And I think that stood out to me because God isn't asking us to be perfect and to only go to him when we are. He'll meet us where we're at, and like all he wants is you, not whoever you think you're supposed to be, like this perfect human. He just wants you where you're at. And yeah, the song just so like beautiful and like calming, and I really love this one. Well, the second song was Slip Away by Allison Ida. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, this one's about being, again, like overwhelmed and in the middle of like a storm and wanting to just isolate from everyone. In the chorus, she's saying like, let me slip away, like please, like don't make me stay. Like if you knew this, like the mess that I was, you would let me. But then she says, but then you gently say, I'm not forcing you to stay. You say, let's slip away. And again, like another reminder, like that the Lord is going to be with you through everything. That the Lord will meet you where you're at and be with you through everything, through your suffering. Especially like it's Holy Week while I'm recording this. I think with the Passion, like it's a reminder of obviously Christ's suffering, but also how we can unite our own suffering to his and offer up our pain and transform that into an act of service for others and for ourselves. Was another very beautiful one. This next song I did know about before I started my Lent journey, but I do love it, and especially like this week with Holy Week, it always sticks out to me, and it's called I Am Barabbas by Josiah Queen. And it's such a, I think, an interesting song because it comes like it's from Barabbas's point of view. And if you don't know who Barabbas is, basically Barabbas was this prisoner who had done like horrible things. And when Jesus was sent to be imprisoned, the crowd had to choose between, to keep Jesus in prison, they had to release one, basically between Jesus and Barabbas, and the crowd chose to imprison and crucify Jesus. And so essentially Barabbas was let go. And the song like always just makes me so emotional because like he says like, I understand what I've done wrong, but like I don't find any fault in Jesus, but he like recognizes that Jesus essentially like pays his bond with his own blood. And so basically like the message of the song is like that we are Barabbas. Like obviously like not all of us have like done like the stuff that he did, but we all have sinned in one way or another. And by God coming to earth and making himself human to be sacrificed, he redeems us and our sins and helps us all carry our cross. And I thought that was like such an interesting perspective of like the parallel of like he like physically and directly like sacrificed himself for someone like Barabbas, technically took on what would have been his punishment, but in a similar way he does that for us and our sins. And so the line that always sticks out to me in this song is, he says, what's the chorus? He says, I am Barabbas, you took upon my cross, I was a prisoner till you bought my bond with blood. Yeah, so it's a really interesting song. Would recommend everyone give it a listen, especially this Holy Week after hearing the Passion of Christ. So those are some of the songs that stuck out to me during this journey. To wrap up, this giving up music was definitely, I think, the hardest thing I've ever given up for Lent. And I knew it going in, and I really wanted to challenge myself. There were definitely times where like I would have a song stuck in my head and I really wanted to play it, but I tried not to. I did use Sundays were my like cheat days, so on Sundays I would listen to whatever, but stuck with it throughout the weeks, and ended up discovering some really cool songs that I'll still be listening to beyond these 40 days, and I'm gonna try to incorporate more Christian music like this into my playlist moving forward. But I think just beyond like discovering new music, I think this experience was a great reminder of centering God in everything that we do. It also made me more aware of the content that I'm absorbing and how it can affect my thoughts and my heart. So I definitely want to be more intentional about what I listen to and what I watch and just everything in my life, and offering it all up to the Lord. Though it was hard, I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy that I was able to let God into this aspect of my life, and can't wait to continue to grow in my relationship with the Lord. But I think that's all for this video. If anyone has any recommendations for music I should listen to, let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to share more of the music that I listen to, I can do that. I'll link a playlist, I think, in the description with the songs I talked about and maybe a few more. But I think that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!